Hey, what's going on, High Hill campers? It's Karl again for our second breakdown from the life of Moses. In this episode, we're time jumping from Exodus chapter 3 to Exodus chapter 6. Don't worry, this is not going to cause a Nexus event, so don't call the TVA. This is all on the same timeline around the year 1447 BC. Even though almost a year has passed since Moses first encountered the great I Am through a burning bush, by the time we get to chapter 6, Moses is still dealing with identity issues, feeling like he's inadequate to be used by God and insecure about some of his abilities. Moses had some type of speech impediment. Moses confessed that he was slow to speech. In another place, he talks about having faltering lips. We don't know exactly how, but in some way, he had trouble speaking. Now, there was nothing broken or dysfunctional about Moses. God loved Moses just the way he was, and he wanted to do a great work through him, but Moses struggled to believe that, and it created this insecurity and anxiety in him. Maybe you can identify with Moses a little bit. And what happened was it ended up culminating in him arguing with God, saying in so many words, "Who would ever listen to someone like me? I can't even talk right." And in chapter 6, Moses is feeling pretty low that even his own people who he's been trying to help and rescue, they won't even listen to him. And he tells God, listen, if my own people won't listen to me, what chance do I have to speak to Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, and expect him to listen to me? This is when the script changes in chapter 6 from this story to Moses' genealogy. And a genealogy is like this family tree filled with a list of men and women who lived before him and led up to his birth. Today we have Ancestry.com to help us find our roots. But in Bible times, family names were preserved and passed down from generation to generation to generation. And most of these genealogies, they look like a list of unfamiliar names in the credits at the end of a movie. Most of the time, we just want to skip over them in hopes that there's this hidden trailer and hidden meaning in all of it. The genealogies may not have hidden trailers embedded in them in the text, but they are connected to other stories in the Bible about imperfect people that God worked through. Like the top 3 names on the list, we have Reuben and Simeon and Levi. They're all brothers. And Reuben slept with one of his dad's wives. Ew. Simeon and Levi, his other brothers, these were violent men who actually concocted this plan to sell their younger brother into slavery. This is a callback again to the story of Joseph, which was the inspiration for the musical Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat. This whole genealogy flashes before Moses to remind him that the Lord was faithful to everyone in his past, as imperfect as they were, and he'll be faithful to help him in the future. After the genealogy, Moses is still wrestling, still dealing with his anxiety, his insecurities, and he tries to offer his excuse of inadequacy to God one more time, but then the Lord commanded him to go and tell Pharaoh to let his people go. And the scene closes. Moses and Aaron did just as the Lord commanded them. Moses was 80 years old and Aaron 83 when they spoke to Pharaoh. Whoa, think about that for a moment. Moses was 80 years old and his big brother Aaron was 83 when God called this dynamic duo to march into Egypt and to rescue the Hebrew slaves. It just goes to show that God loves you just the way you are, and he's willing to use you, really anyone at any time, if you're willing to trust his power and allow his strength to work through you.